Hi, welcome. This is the next tutorial in Python series where we'll be using one new tool or a new tool for you guys. But it's a new tool where we'll try to generate the address of a particular point, particular vertex, and we'll try to create an object at that position. This tool is very easy, simple tool, but how to use it is a little bit not complicated. You need to work a little bit more in clarity, right? Let's open the script editor. First thing is always important, that is import maya.cmds. As it's up to you, we'll go for cmds because that's what's in help document. We have cmds, we can use that one, or else we can use mc also. Since last couple of tutorials we were using mc, we can use mc. Right, the next step is that I'll create a plane here. What I did was that I went to the polygon plane here and changed the properties to 10 and 10 as width and 10 and 10 as divisions. So what happens is that if I drag something like this, I get 10 points and 10 points on each. So first of all, I need to select any point and I want this point to be in the list. Okay, it should be in the selector list. So how to create that list? Come here, you can write like this: my selection, right, is mc, or if it's cmds ls list, and in bracket I'll put selection equals true, right? So this point, if I drag and run this command, select this code, that is in the selection. If you want to find it out, always try to find out like that. It's like a debug in here, selection. So if I drag and select it, the print, now it says your selected polyplane vertex 37. Good, that's perfect. Now the next point is that we need to find the address of that particular vertex. We need to find the position of this point in three-dimensional axis, okay, in 3D axis. So to do that one, it's very simple, but what I will do is that, as I told you, that I always create a variable and channel the information into it. So I'll say, let's take my selected position. It's always, you should come out with some clear so that you can understand. It is mc dot x form. Xform, if you want to find more about it, you can just double click this one, command documentation, right click, go to command documentation. See, xform is undoable, queryable, and not editable. This command is to query the elements, and set means you can use it as to move the object, rotate the object, everything in one option. But generally we'll use move, rotation, and scaling as it is. But to find out, we'll use xform. So in bracket, it should query the position, but from what should it query? So it should query the position of like my selection, right, comma, query equals true, comma, and if you come over here, there's one thing called world space, works for pivots, translations, and rotations. So now that when querying, it will give us right position. So I'll put ws equals true. Okay, we said that query the position in the world space, but what? one more thing, what it should query, translation, because it's not rotating, it's a position of that point, it's just a position of that point. So if I run it, always print. Okay, so just select this point, I'll run the whole command. Can you see now? It says that you have selected 79 and the point position is, this is the position in the 3D space, X, Y and Z axis. Got it? The next thing is that at this point we want to create an object. I'll create mc dot poly cube in bracket, always set it, I'll put it in some variable bulk equals mc, so it's create a cube. By default it will create a cube at the center, at the origin. Now mc dot move, where should it move? It should move to this selected position. If you see here, this is a vector that is in x, y and z axis, so 0, 1 and 2. So what I will copy, x is the 0 position, y position, okay, so it will move in x and y. But what should it move? It should move the value. Okay, and no, don't use relative, because we are trying to find, we found the position of this point in an absolute way, so it should go in absolute. So by default it's an absolute. So let's run this command, home. So if I select this point, so you can start creating n number of points. Okay, now let's suppose you have created a building and house or a tree. Okay, I just got one thing. Yeah, here, see, I just created one small tree starting. If I run this command, boom, see, it's a tree, and it's named as tree. Now let's just check this code. What I did was I'm just maximizing it. I just created a cylinder and moved it. I created a sphere, moved it, scaled it, and then I selected both these objects. See, select tree main, that is tree main, and the tree plane. Let's run this command. See, this one and this one, I selected both. Can you see it? Now let's take, if you run this command, if you run poly unite, okay, I'll show it from scratch. Let's do it from scratch. Okay, here I'll put, okay, mc poly cylinder, and I want the radius of that cylinder is, let's take 0.5, height is 6. I don't know, just I'm guessing. I don't want subdivision axis, just 8. And name, we should give the name. So I say green leaves, it's all fun. And always they should be in a variable. So let's take tree. Tree. So if I run this command, got it. And now I'll move it up. So it's always easy. If you go here, I want it to move exactly here on the ground. It's exactly half of it. So mc dot move 0, 6 is the height, so 6 divided by 2. I always prefer 6 divided by 2.0 because if it's 5, if we change the height, we don't have to change the division on those things. It will convert into floats. 0, and it should move this one. Always run this command and check it out. That's perfect. I'm a bit lazy, so I say 3 leaves. This is poly. Sphere. Radius, I'll go for 3. Subdivision as 8. Subdivision as y as 8. Name as green leaves. Let's run this command. Now what we want is, check it out. Let's move it here. So it should move exactly here. That is approximately, we'll say 5 units. So copy this one. I'll just put 5 here exactly. And it should move. Always, every line, whenever you write the code, check it out. It's got perfect. Now I want to scale. I want to scale this in. Okay. Half of it. If you check here, half of it, and a little bit of here. So what I'll do is 0.5, 1.25, 0.5, and it should move 3. That's okay. Now this thing radius is a little bit weird. If you want it, you can change the radius here. Okay, that's perfect. Now the next step is that read. If we run this command in this thing, let's take, I'll select everything. I'll define as tree. Select everything. It should be indented. Now it's key. Rather than def, I'll just put 3. Okay. Now select this 1 point. Is not defined. Okay, let's first define this one. Now it's defined. Can you see here? Can you find the difference? Tell me what's the difference. When you create a tree, we are creating the leaves laterwards. So what is happening is that it's moving only the selected object, that is leaves. So that's why only leaves at this position, whereas this is still at origin. So how to sort this out? This is very important. That's why I said it looks very easy. So what I'll do is that first I will select. Okay, here selection. I won't go for these names because I already have the variables. copy, just copy. Okay, what I will just remove the index so that I can test it. Oh, it's selected. Can you see? When I run this code, it's got selected. Both objects are selected. Now it's up to you what you want to do, whether you want to group it or combine it. It's up to you. Generally, for this tutorial, we'll try to group it. Okay, so mc dot group, and as we have selected two objects, it will be grouped. So name is tree underscore grp. What I will do is that I'll put hash symbol here. Hash symbol, what it does. Let's go to Windows, Outliner. If you run this code, group 1. Let's see if I run the command, tree 2. Got it? And it's grouped. See, tree. So you understood this point? That's good. See, whenever you get some doubts, pause it, rewind it, check it out once again. And I'm always freezing this code for some seconds so that you can understand it. Now here I'll define tree, indent, I'll create my graph, select this point, first define this code, so you can select the point, boom, boom, so you can create n number of trees like this. One more thing, you must be having that wrong. This is a flat thing. Let's take, I got it already. I'll press B and hold B to drag the radius. I'll move a little bit up. Okay. Now this is totally random points. Now vertex. Click B once again so that you'll reset that one. You see that? Okay. So this is how it's created. How we use xform. Always bleed through the outliner. I just scale it. If you check here, when I'm creating this object here, it's in blade width exactly this point, so I won't get it more down. So what I will do is that after this group, once again, this group should be name. So I'll say my tree grp equals this one. Now it's very simple because I want a little bit to move down. Here in MC move, the main thing, you can just change it to not from 2 points. I'll change it to 2 points from 4. So it's dividing by 2.4. So let's see the code. So now this one just did 2.4. It's exactly, it's going perfect. Okay. Now if you see, everything is trees are there. Now let's start from scratch. If I select this one, boom, group 1, group 2, each is individual object, but still it's a group. Okay, you can select each individual object and group. It's one thing. Or else let's take the unite thing. We'll do in the next tutorial the unite thing. We'll learn something more in depth of xform as well as how to use a unite tool. But generally I prefer what I can say, group, because we can easily apply some basic textures and all that stuff simply on the scene. Right. So I just pause for some couple of seconds to just check this code, work on it. Next tutorial we'll see how we can randomly select some points and apply the positions and apply creator characters, creator objects in the scene. Okay, thank you and bye. See you in the next lesson.